The other one that's economic is if you cut the money supply. This also leads to high interest rates. So the interest rate is actually the economic thing that makes countries grow. But the other thing is politics and risk. These are not economics, but they have something to do with economics. So if you have some sort of a good situation, right, an election where it looks like it's going to be good for investors, where it's going to draw people into the country and ask for the money to build projects or to invest in financial instruments, a good climate or events should make the currency rise. And so some countries have very weakening currencies. Venezuela was an example, because Venezuela had a dictator, had Hugo Chavez, who he won elections, but he was not very friendly to business. So their currency fell because investors didn't want to put their money in a country. They demanded less of the currency as they left the country because they were afraid of losing their investment. And so risk is anything that can make you lose money. And politics and a good climate have to do with that. The last one is just other. Good news. Good news makes a country's currency go up. So a country could find oil, a country could have good weather, a country could export oil and the price of oil goes up. All of these things have some economics to it because they're the things that attract investors to bring money in. And anytime someone asks for, a foreigner asks for dollars to invest or to build, it makes the exchange rate go up. This is what makes the exchange rate go up. All right, I'm only drawing the demand curve, although you can also say that you can go the other direction as the Americans stay home. All right, finally, what makes a currency fall? Obviously, it's anything opposite of what made the currency rise. If the United States cuts interest rates or Mexico raises interest rates, the dollar falls and the peso rises. If the US goes through a recession that's worse than other countries, the economy does worse and the exchange rate should fall. If the US economy increases the money supply in a way to to lower rates, you can print money, the interest rate falls and the exchange rate falls. Finally, a lot of countries have bad political climates. They have an election that's won by someone who might take everyone's property, might be someone who's not a democracy. You could have risk in the economy, bad risk. But the last thing about this is, what about bad news? Countries get hit by a flu epidemic or a hurricane, earthquake, nuclear disaster. All of those things should make investors demand less of the currency. So low interest rates drive investors away. Bad performing economies make investors leave. I can also add here, if a country has inflation, that makes the currency fall. People lose money because their investments are losing value. And as I said, anything that makes the political situation something to make investors demand less of the country's money. So those are the things that make the exchange rate depreciate, or the market forces.